What up, G? Oh my God. Miss Giggles over here. How are you?
I'm so good. Welcome to episode 5. Coming at you. Her with her magical mug.
Love you, mean it.
Love you.
That's what it says. Love you, mean
That's great. I didn't know it said that.
it. Yeah.
Oh, episode 5, Lindsay.
Again, I'm grateful you're keeping track.
I have to. It's a thing. Yeah.
Great.
So let's get into our week. How was
Okay.
your week?
My week was difficult. It
Yes.
was a difficult ride. I Monday evening felt the tension in my neck in a very specific way that I knew it was like, oh shit, this is going to turn into a migraine. And immediately started doing all the things, taking all the supplements. But it wasn't enough to like redirect it. I had double vision all throughout work on Tuesday. And so I wore my glorious pink sunglasses all day at work, which is
Yeah.
so fun. And I thought, okay, this is getting better. I'm getting better. And Wednesday went to work and uh, could only be there for an hour.
Mm.
Within like after the first hour, got super sick at work, and I was like, I cannot function. I have to go.
Yeah.
And then I stayed home Wednesday and Thursday, and then went back to work on Friday. And Friday morning was so difficult to like be there. It felt like I was like crawling energetically through the mud. And but as the day continued to go on, it was like, okay, I'm getting better. And
Mhm.
it was a struggle. We had some crazy storms come through, and
Yeah, we
the
did.
barometric combined with, I was like, okay, how much water was I really consuming? Did I take all my supplements properly? Did I have too much caffeine? What kind of caffeine did I have? Did I eat enough? Like, it's like all these different variants that I was reflecting on. And the answer is I came up short. I overcaffeinated my body. I did not hydrate enough. I slipped on taking my supplements,
Mm.
and it created the perfect storm along with the weather to just have migraines all week, and it sucked.
Cool. And how are you feeling today?
I feel way more like myself. My vision is still a bit off in my right eye, but I like it's with even with pain and discomfort, like seriously, like I'm grateful to be alive.
Yeah.
Like I know that that sounds really cheesy, but honestly, like I'm grateful to be alive because I know that I said this before in another episode. Some people hit their heads and never wake up.
It's true.
I hit my head and I just navigate life very differently now, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Different isn't good or bad, different is just different. And the pain reminds me that like no, I'm still here.
I'm glad you're still here.
Me too.
Yeah.
How are you? How was your week?
It was good. Um, I have made a new connection that I've not talked about on here, and it's going really good. Yeah,
Good.
she's wonderful. I had several meetups this week with her. Made her dinner,
Yeah. What
brought
did you
out the
make?
big guns.
What
Uh,
did you make?
Salmon fillet with basil,
Ooh,
mashed potatoes.
that sounds good.
Yes, it was delicious. She's delicious.
You're enjoying your tacos.
Yes.
I love it. I love that. I love that I get to see this part of you, like enjoying the brand new start of something.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great. And I can't wait to meet her in person.
which you will.
Mhm.
Yes. So yeah, that has been the highlight of my month.
Good.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Good.
Um, and then yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to like stop giggling so much. Listen, I've got a Leo stellium. It's bound to happen when it's
But
romance.
yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me something about Leos and how maybe I'll learn something about myself and how we navigate romantic relationships.
Oh my God, this is the best question.
Tell me something about me that I probably don't know already.
Okay. So Leo, fire sign, fixed sign. It's more of the more. It's more of the more emotionally oriented fire signs. Probably the most emotionally oriented fire sign.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Because Aries and Sagittarius, like, there's a, I would say Aries has like an emotionality to it too. But I would say that there's more of an edge with like Aries and Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Mhm. Um, so Leo is major romantic, like, like since I have a stellium in Leo, it's like full on. Like when I really like somebody, I flirt heavily with them.
Yeah.
They know that I like them. Like I don't hold back.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I do hold back.
Well, you got that Virgo Venus too.
Right. Yeah, I definitely, especially if we're in a public setting where I don't want to violate their boundaries.
Yeah.
Absolutely hold back and put on the best poker face where you have no idea how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Um, but really, oh, it's so frustrating. It's like the worst inner friction because the Leo in me wants so badly to express it that I hang on to it and I get to like
Hmm.
it's
That.
it's that it's
That's
that.
uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
when I'm in a space where I have the permission to be myself, it's big and it's bubbly and loud and there's heavy flirtation and there's physical touch and there's
Physical
playfulness
touch.
and
Mhm.
it's very dynamic. It's very dynamic. But I
Yeah.
have to be in context where I feel safe enough to take off that poker face.
Oh yeah. And then the lioness really comes full throttle. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there's like a nice like playfulness and what I've noticed is that like I can be like super cheesy, but people seem to like find it endearing instead
Right,
of just
because
like
it's your
cheesy.
authentic expression.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's
Yeah.
very Leo, like very spontaneously saying things that are very flirtatious and cheesy in the moment, but it works
Right.
because like you said, it's authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how it can show up. And then just, I mean, I feel like when a Leo is in love, there's like everything feels romantic.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You
Yeah.
look at the world and you're like, oh my God, I am in love with life. Like
Yeah.
it's like that kind of feeling.
Yes. Yeah. It's so funny. Leos in love were so funny. We're like everything is magical and romantic and beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
But also, like, that's the beauty about Leos is that, like, I find everything beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
there's beauty even. Like there's so much of a a beautiful experience within everything that we like. We're so um
Yeah, everything is beautiful. And then the other thing that I was thinking about is since we are ruled by the sun, we we shine, but
yeah,
like we really want other people to shine. So when we're in love,
yeah.
we want our person to like fucking shine bright, like be the
Yeah.
biggest self.
That's one misconception about Leos is that like it's the assumption that we love the spotlight, but
Right.
that's not it. Like we hold a space for either our team or our partners or our friends to like, no, 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 let me shine the light on you. Like
Right. Yeah.
that's where I feel so fulfilled is like when my team is shining bright, I'm like, fucking get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when like witnessing you facilitate for North Node, I'm like, fucking get it, Liz. Like I'm
Yes.
so stoked. And I get loud up in my head. I'm like, she's killing it, right? Like,
Dude, I do the same thing. When you're like fucking going, I'm like, yeah, she's fucking shining.
yeah,
She's doing so good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I would say, and I wonder your thoughts on this, when we are adored by our our partners, like adored, like whether it's like words of affirmation or like the look that they're giving us.
Oh man, the look fucking
That's yes,
the look
the look.
the look makes me melt. It's like, oh my God, they see me.
Mm, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And
And
it's
then
not
it
just
fuels.
like, yeah, it's not just like surface level words of affirmation, like it's like specific to the person that really makes us melt.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts on that?
on that. No, but would like to come back to what happened this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yesterday we facilitated our second virtual workshop um, as an introductory step for how we hold space for people and what we do for North Node and uh, like an introductory step for our virtual series coming up. And
Yeah.
so how has that been taking our work virtual?
Yeah, that's so at first when we were talking about it, it felt challenging to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, oh, how are we gonna modify it to be virtual? And in particular, with the therapeutic theater portion of reenacting situations. And so, like, it prompted me to get creative, both of us to get creative and collaborate and figure out, like, how could this work in a way that's incorporating an experience, not just intellectualizing.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's been really good.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that I uh, facilitated embodiment work through
Mm.
somatic dance movement. I ran courses, oh my gosh, all last year.
Yeah.
And so I have the muscle within me to facilitate virtually, but also like having taught for so many years, I have an understanding of how to navigate the virtual landscape of facilitation. And
Yeah.
then moving therapeutic theater to Zoom, my immediate answer was no, we're not going to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I felt that too.
We're not, no, it doesn't, it's not going to work that way, not for how we facilitate.
Right.
And then I said, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We are potentially, I'm not going to say that. We're potentially putting up a wall and a barricade for the flow of how we could navigate
Mm.
this work.
Yeah.
And we could reach a wider audience. We could really work with a lot of people if we bring it virtually. So I just held this space, the energetic space. I had the intention of, we're going to find the answer, we're going to make this work, we're going to figure it out.
Mhm.
And then you started working with a coach, and then
Yeah.
suddenly you had this light bulb idea, and I was like, yes,
Yeah.
let's got it. Because once you figured out like how to facilitate your portion of it. So for those of you who haven't worked with us, we usually will start off with the somatic movement and theater exercises. With me, I provoke everybody emotionally. I'm really good at that.
He's very good at that.
And then we find resolution with your portion of it.
Right. Yeah.
I like stir the fire.
Yes. They're already in like primed to like dive into
Yeah,
something even deeper emotionally. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful complementary process that we have created for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But we both, so also like we will both hold space for anybody who is navigating really big waves of emotion. Like
Yeah.
I will not let somebody, like I don't just like stir the fire and then I'm like, cool, Liz has got it. No, no, no.
Right.
Like I will absolutely be with anybody who's riding the wave of, I'm right here. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna, I
Yeah.
got you.
That's such a big theme, isn't it? Because it's this like dance with resistance and then allowing and softening right from the resistance, which the resistance, those are protected parts of us that come out because they had to at certain points in our lives. And so it's this like, it's really beautiful movement of working with somebody in a way that helps recalibrate their nervous system in like such an experiential, in the moment way in which other people are with you inside of that. Like, not a lot of people are doing that. And it's so needed. Like, as we've talked about before, we are inundated with intellectualization and suppression and just these patterns of just like not being with yourself.
Yes, yeah. Like how often do we turn to TV shows or social
Right.
media to scroll, to numb, to get ourselves out of our own heads and out of our own hearts and into
Right.
something else, right? I do it too. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
holding
same.
to hold myself accountable too. Like I'm not just
Yeah.
pointing the finger, I'm like actually being like, no, no, I do it too. Like for instance, living alone, how often am I on TikTok just to have something in the background?
Right. Right.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like we're in it too. No
Yeah.
doubt about that.
Yeah.
It's a challenging thing, right? Because it's so easy and convenient to turn to that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and the free virtual workshops that we did, there was like, I bet we could go back and review them and be like, oh my gosh, there's like a couple themes every time, right? Like
Oh yeah.
theme of suppression of feelings, or like a little bit of expression, and then some part of us comes in and is critical and judges that feeling, and then we're in that tension in our body again, right? Like that's such a theme. Um, Trusting your feelings,
Yeah.
trusting yourself to express your feelings. That's
Right.
another theme, right?
Well, I mean, how often have like okay, so yesterday what came up was, this person was essentially apologizing or stopping themselves from truly expressing their emotion.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago, they were silenced for crying. Like, think about it. How often have we been silenced for crying? Like I remember being like a toddler and my grandmother saying stop your crying and then handing me a piece of gum. Stop your crying. Here you go. Like literally like pacifying my emotions.
Yeah.
And but when I look at her, she never cried. She never cried ever until my grandfather passed away. Like that was the only time I saw her cry. I mean,
Yeah, that's so sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why is crying such a bad thing? It's an expression of the emotion that you're feeling.
Right.
We're meant to experience our emotions.
Right. That's so true. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'm in session and I hear from my clients like these beliefs that they internalized about their feelings. And I had like similar beliefs internalized too, so I totally like get the experience of that, of like my feelings are too much for people. Like I should just be able to handle this. Like
Right.
it,
But who says that you're not handling it when you're expressing the
oh,
emotion?
exactly.
Right? Like who says that like why did we come to the conclusion that the expression was not handling it?
Right. Right.
So interesting. So it's and being a Leo and being on the emotional side of things, like we experience the emotions in a big way,
Yeah.
but once when we allow ourselves to experience the largeness and the fullness,
Yeah.
then we're actually able to come back to like a place of like, oh, okay, inner calmness so much faster because we allowed the fire to get big and then it goes back down.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how often have I gotten really really fast and then I come back down. I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, I've seen you do that quite a few times. And you've seen me do it quite a few times where I'm just like, blah, and it's fiery or it's like passionate or it's like really intense, like crying, right? And then it passes.
Right. And it passes so much faster, but also, Liz, because we allow ourselves the space to really just release. And like our friendship is the perfect example of, haha, the safe container. Now we're, do you see what I did?
Ah, good segue. Love how you did that.
For like you hold such amazing, beautiful space of where are you right now? All right, I got you. Are you good? Is there anything else that you need to express with that?
Yeah.
Do you need to vocalize anything else? Because like not only as a partner and as a friend, but also because you're so similar
Mhm.
of no, I just is there anything else that I need to release? No. Oh, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
creating safe space, my friend.
Hmm. Yes.
How do you define safe space?
Hmm. The first thing that I think of is because it's like multifaceted, multi-layered. But the first thing that I think of is how are you with yourself?
Yeah.
Are you right? Because if
Yeah.
you're not creating safety inside of yourself, what you're gonna do is you're gonna project all the fears that you have onto other people,
Yeah.
believe that they're not safe.
Right.
So you can't get to that beautiful experience of being with somebody and trusting that they are safe until you really like feel that inside of yourself too.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just like it's not stepwise, like it's like, oh, step one, you love yourself. Step two, somebody loves you. Um,
It is not linear at all.
no, it's not. Sometimes it's like you like being in such an emotional state that you're softened to somebody else caring for you. And that's how
Yeah.
you get there, right?
Yeah.
That felt experience with somebody else. And then it can go into like your own relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
So I really believe that like there's because we're dynamic beings, there's these multifaceted elements that you work with. And not just work with, but it's it's really like dropping in. And I love what one of the participants said yesterday, dropping into your own love.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
like that statement is just
Right.
like so beautiful. And so what does even that mean, right? Like that sounds like sort of abstract. It is
Right.
abstract.
Yeah.
But like as we've talked about so many times, connecting in with the sensations in your body, because your body is directly connected with that love inside of you. It's being expressed through the sensations in your body.
Yeah.
So that's a huge way to do it. And there's some people that have a real challenge like being in their bodies, right?
Right.
Like I have a few clients that they must think about it and then it can help them visualize like some sort of representation of say, their own love.
Hmm.
Like maybe it's a beautiful like scene in a forest and hearing like the birds chirping and the sun coming through, the light coming through the trees, and that's sort of representing their love.
Hmm.
Some people are really visual. Some people are somatic, more so. And then there's others who like they need to like think about it and conceptualize it
Hmm.
to get it into their system.
Right.
So it's really beautiful that there's such a variation of how we get to drop into our own love.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And as a facilitator, I decided very early on that I could not be afraid of anybody's extreme emotions that they were experiencing.
Yeah.
And in order to be comfortable with that,
Uh-huh.
I have to be okay with my own emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Feeling feeling the high highs and the low lows.
Yeah.
And because people can only meet you as deep as they meet themselves. And so as a facilitator, if I'm not meeting myself
Yeah.
with a level of depth and honesty and authenticity and integrity, like my clients are not going to trust me.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
so I know that we hold space for each other
huh?
in that way so that we can continue nourishing that trust because we're like a unit. We're a team. And when anybody enters into this space for North Node, we're like, no, no, no. We got you.
Yeah.
And we got you because we got each other and we got ourselves. So we have got you. Yeah.
And people can feel that, right? Like they notice.
Absolutely.
They notice that
Absolutely.
we are like in alignment and we are energetically supporting each other or
Right.
sometimes stepping in and saying something that needs to be said.
Yeah, we challenge each other too.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
really do.
yeah, for sure. For
Like
you,
there was, go
oh,
ahead. No, 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 go ahead.
for you, what's been the most helpful piece in allowing yourself to be with your intense feelings? What's really helped you like develop that practice inside of yourself?
Um,
The cat's
I think
yelling at me.
hey, little one.
She's like, "Hi, are we
Yeah.
talking about feelings? Let me scream at you."
I think it really just started with the word allow comes to mind. Like I remember, oh my gosh, it was 2013 and my father had just died, and I started working for this person who was pushing me into a decision that I wasn't ready to make.
Mm,
And suddenly my support system, my quote unquote support system, had totally just like left. And it it really provided the space for me to go through all of my baggage with my father.
yeah.
I simply allowed myself to do all the ugly crying that I needed to do. And I just was like, okay, I'm just going to release it. I'm going to cry for what never was, what never will be, and
Yeah.
for exactly what was. Like all of it, all of those layers of complexity and not thoroughly understanding exactly why I was crying, I just allowed myself to cry.
Mm.
And it would be for like 3 to 4 hours of like the ugly cry, like the
Yeah.
ugly
Like
cry.
on the floor,
Oh
snot,
yeah.
snot
Oh,
coming out. Yeah.
this ugly cry that you could ever most possibly imagine. And by the time I was done, I would be like, okay, okay, cool. Are we good? Are we good? Yeah, we're okay. That wasn't fun, but I'm feeling better. Like I feel like I'm working through some stuff. So now I'm gonna go nourish my body and replenish the water and take a salt bath. And that's just like that's what I did. Like I called it like a nervous breakdown because in very, you know, very many ways of the sense of that term, it was like I was breaking down the walls and I was
Mm.
breaking down the barriers that I had built up. um you know, I was going through all of the boxes that I had shoved in the closet that I didn't want to go through, regarding my father,
Yeah.
and all the layers and complexities of what goes along with a complicated relationship that a daughter would have with her father.
Right. Yeah. So that was a helpful catalyst to go deeper into really letting yourself feel what you need to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't fun.
No, that's not fun. That's like,
No.
that's
But
incredibly difficult.
it was needed. And quite frankly, by the time I got to grad school, it provided the most amazing subject matter for me to just
Oh, I
like
bet.
really amazing work. And I just kept pushing forward and I kept purging it. And yeah, I spent 4 years creating not only visual art, like in all the different methods of like photography, printmaking, painting, sculpture, video, performance, you name it, and then moved into theater work and then continued the storytelling of it.
Yeah.
So it was such
You,
a beautiful release of it.
you transformed it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of it.
Yeah. That's the beautiful part of like when you can go to like the dark night of the soul level and move through it
Yeah.
and like come out on the other side creating from that. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny because well, maybe not funny, but when he left his body, I said to his soul, okay, now the real work begins.
Mm. Hmm.
And I knew, I was like, we're going to heal this thing, whatever this thing is, but this is like generational trauma, this bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm determined to, now that I'm single, like I'm determined to select a man that like is going to show up for my future daughter. Like I'm determined to be like, no, like that's how I'm navigating like selection of like, can you show up for my future daughter? Like not
Yeah.
just me, but like, do you
Right.
check these boxes? Like, do you check this box too? Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So important. Setting in motion a different way of being
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
inside a family.
Right.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, the allowing piece. something that I was going to say about that is, you said that you would cry 3 to 4 hours a day. And, I feel like in this day and age, people think that that means you have depression.
Right.
It could mean that, maybe. Like it depends on the situation, but there's a lot of things in life that things happen, events happen, losses happen, transitions happen, and it's normal to cry for hours.
Right. Or I had a doctor ask me like if I experience anxiety, and I'm like, it's normal before a lecture
Yeah,
that I'm giving a lecture for like 50 to 70 students. Like it's normal to
right.
feel a little bit of anxiety. And
Yeah,
they wanted to prescribe me like anti-anxiety medication. And I'm like, that's a normal thing. Like
right.
just because, but like in it, I'm good. Once I
Right.
start, I'm good. Like that level of anxiety is like normal. That's a normal response. So
Totally.
we've become totally disconnected from what is normal versus what is not normal,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So how can you potentially even determine what what is normal?
Right. Yeah, and this is an interesting topic, medication versus not going to medication, because we have to deal with so much shit nowadays that's not like good for our nervous system, that it
Yeah.
makes sense that people are on medication,
Yeah,
right?
and I'm this is not to knock medication.
No, no, I don't hear that in what you're saying at
Right?
all.
Like I want to be very clear that medication is a tool,
Yeah,
right? But you cannot accomplish appropriately building something functional with just a hammer from the tool shed. I just want to
right,
be clear. Like you
right.
need more multiple tools, right?
Yes,
So medication is sometimes a tool, but we rely on it as if it's the only thing to fix our scenario. And we're
yeah.
on that medication for way too long.
Mm,
Because I've been on meds.
mhm.
I've been on meds and it was helpful for what I needed at the time. But one, I was on them way too long. I was on the wrong meds. I was on the wrong dosage. And the family scenario that I was in was like not helpful in
Right.
navigating what I was navigating. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's like another piece of it, like community and being with people, right? Like
It's huge.
we're
Your
so
community is
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the safe space. Your community is your safe space. Bro,
Yes.
if you don't feel safe with the partner in your sacred space of your house,
Right.
man,
Yeah.
that's
Which happens
detrimental
a lot.
a lot.
Yeah, it does. And you're right. You're right about medication. Like if you need to get on medication to support your process, great. And like go to therapy. Go see a healer, whatever modality that works for you. Go out in nature. Like we don't go out in nature enough. I don't go out in nature enough. And whenever I do, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so much better. Thank you, Mother Earth, for helping transmute
Yeah,
this energy that's in me right now, you know?
yeah.
Um, so yeah, and you were saying safe space, creating safe space. And if you don't have that in your home with your partner, that's so detrimental to your quality of life.
It will halt your growth.
Hmm.
It will stunt it. If
Right.
you are continuously showing up in a way with the intention of truly fulfilling your purpose and with the intention of truly going as far as your potential can go, that requires the constant shifting and the growth and all the ripple effects that that growth creates. And for me, having been in a relationship with someone who did not want that same thing, um, I could feel the growing resentment within myself
Hmm.
because I was constantly halted because how I wanted to move through life with a partner, it was constantly stunted and halted, and I
Yeah.
was always hitting a wall. And so how I navigate my world is I'm going to show up with truly with trying to do my best. And maybe my best today is not as good as my best yesterday, or maybe my best tomorrow is going to be so much better than my best today, but truly just showing up and like, okay, how can I continue this growth?
Hmm.
Like it's going to require a partner who can hold space for me,
Yeah.
who understands that sometimes I just need to like spike with the energy and then come right back down.
Right. Yeah. And that it's not too much.
And to not be threatened by those emotions because sometimes it's crying and sometimes it's anxiety of okay,
Right.
I'm triggered right now, like I just like I don't need you to fix it, I just need you to hold space both with and for me because I know what to do, I know how to navigate my own triggers, I know how to navigate my, when I'm in that spike of that emotion. um I I'm calling in a partner who is not threatened by it
Yeah.
because that is going to be a co-collaboration of or a co-creative space for my safe space, meaning my house.
Yeah.
Safe space meaning my, what I inhabit.
Yeah.
It's it's gotta be the sacred energy of as soon as when I come home, I need to be able to relax. And if I can't relax because I'm too busy emotionally walking on eggshells or even
Oh,
spiritually walking on
no.
eggshells, like that that doesn't create a space for me or anybody really
No.
to fully be themselves, which then will propel them forward.
Right.
So how do you know that someone that you care for is not in a safe space?
From my experiences in that, it's when, for example, a friend is repetitively saying there's a major issue in my relationship, and you see it in their nonverbals of like anxious or um maybe even in denial about the gravity of it, how it's impacting them.
Yeah.
And or like they're coming to you like crying every
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me,
Or they're angry, or they're really angry and resentful and like they just see their partner as this like awful person.
I watch the light in their eyes
Yeah.
and how fulfilling their smile is.
That's a good one. You would do that, you nonverbal ninja.
But for real, like
Yeah.
not only have I experienced it, right? Like I
Yeah.
remember what I was like before I got into the relationship with my ex-husband. I watched the timeline of when I started to hold myself back. And you can see it in the light in my eyes, you can see it in the smile, the fulfilling smile or
Yeah.
lack thereof, right? Like I talked about the tension in my jaw because I was
Right.
holding so much in. And so there's somebody in my life who I care
Hmm.
deeply for, but they are not there because they're too busy walking on eggshells. They're too busy holding themselves back spiritually. They're unsafe emotionally.
Right.
Even mentally, they don't make choices anymore.
Hmm.
They actively tell me that they're not excited about upcoming events because then they're not let down. And I'm like, ooh. But it has come to a point where I have had to take an energetic step back from this person
Mhm.
who I love
Yeah.
dearly, dearly,
Mhm.
but they are so wrapped up in their partner's life, and that's fine. That's their choice. That's their choice.
Right.
But it is not. I cannot witness their dying of their light anymore. It is. I can't. It's and and even trying to have an honest conversation with them, they're they're unable to do it. They're
Right.
unable to do it. And so I'm like, okay, where does that leave me in their life?
Mhm.
If I feel I am beginning to hold myself back and I'm beginning to really micromanage my own conversations because I know that they'll just go back to their partner with whatever information they have. And then it's this manipulative ripple effect that it's like, oh, now you've created this unsafe space for me in this dynamic
Mhm.
because of this third party.
Right.
And so I have begun to withdraw my energy from people, not all people obviously, but some people, because it's very obvious that like, oh, I can see that you're in an unsafe space, and me offering safety for you, you don't, it's so unfamiliar to you that you can't even recognize when somebody's truly just showing up in unconditional love.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's so true. Yeah,
Yeah.
when they're in the thick of it and you're sitting with them and you're saying, "Hey, like I see you and I see how great you are as a person," and they just block it. They're just like, "Nah."
Yeah, so unable to receive.
Yeah.
And so I'm holding the vision for the one day where they're able to come back to the truth of who they are. I'm holding the vision of um, the light back in their eyes, the fulfilling smile. I'm holding that,
Yeah.
um, and whatever that looks like. But also like to know that I know that with this podcast we dove in very quickly with spiritual things. And
Hmm.
disclaimer, like you and I actually don't facilitate heavily through spiritual development.
Yeah.
We're actually heavily within practicality.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but how we navigate life is through spiritual development,
Totally.
which is
That's a good distinction. Yeah, we haven't said that. That is
yeah.
true. We're very
And
spiritual, yet we don't explicitly incorporate it in the work that we do.
right, we don't. Yeah. And I'm saying that because I'm about to talk about soul contracts.
Love how you preface things. That's
Right.
very
Right.
intentional, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, and a little bit of background information about me is that I've been able to see soul contracts my entire life. I just didn't realize what I was being shown
Mhm.
until I started spiritual energetic healing. And that was I started to do workshops I think in 2012, um, to help me understand what was happening. So and okay, so to go um, back to the conversation is that like who am I who am I to halt or to like pull somebody out of
Right.
um, a relationship dynamic that I clearly see as unhealthy, like when their soul could have clearly signed up for
Yeah.
something detrimental or to be locked into that arrangement or that dynamic for however long that soul needs to be in. Like that's the part about spiritual development and spiritual, like being a healer. Like I will not intervene
Yeah.
unless if it's like physical or sexual abuse. Like
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
I will not say you're paired with somebody you shouldn't be paired with. You need to leave this person. I will
Right.
not do that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
who
same.
am I to say like there could be there could be like page 3, like a subtext somewhere that I'm not seeing, but it is not for me. Like I, especially if spirit guides or spirit is not showing me that soul contract or that page or that line or whatever, it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
I am so with you. It's not for us to mess with
not at
that,
all.
that which we don't fully know. And
Right,
even, working with couples, I will never be like, you guys need to break up. Never. I will
right.
hold space in a maybe, I mean, there's always biased, so it can't be non-biased. That's not real because we're human. Um,
Every, right, everything is viewed through the lens and perspective of,
really.
right. Like I won't pull somebody aside as a facilitator and be like, oh my God, just let me cut this cord for you. Like, let me release this.
Right.
Like, not unless if like we have a very close dynamic. And even with you, Liz, sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to touch that.
Same.
That's not,
Yeah.
that's not for me. That's not like,
Right.
unless if you're actively saying, like, actively struggling with something. And I'm like, is it okay if I help you? Right. Like, cause I can see exactly what it is. And I know that, but even at that, like, I will not just randomly say, come here, let me do it for you. Mm-mm.
Right. Yeah. No,
Can,
definitely not.
can I help you? Can I help and assist? Would you like help? I
Right.
let's preface that first. Yeah.
I agree. And yeah, I think that's so important to honor people's sovereignty. And, even just this last week, I got some really good feedback from a couple. And they're like, I love how you can challenge us at times, but you don't force it with
Right.
us. And you drop things and you like drop it in the center of the room, and then we can pick it up. And I mean, what else? I mean, there's other things that create safety, but that's like such a major thing in safety. Like, how do you honor each other's sovereignty?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes with North Node, I'm simply just holding space for somebody. I'm
Mhm.
not egging them on to cry. I'm just being like, I'm watching them. I'm watching how they're breathing. I'm watching the words that are coming out. I'm listening to the tone. And then I'm like, I know that there's something more.
Mhm.
What is that something more? Do you need
Right,
to scream? Do you need to cry? Do you need to
right.
say something? I'm just going to hold space for you and silence, and I'm going to watch and I'm going to listen.
Mhm.
And then, based off of your next move, is how I'm going to navigate that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But it's never a come on, cry. No, no, no.
Right, yeah,
It's more of a let it out. What is that? What is that?
right.
I don't know what you need. Do you need to scream? Because I'm not afraid of you screaming. I might go, ooh, okay. Are you
Yeah,
good?
yeah. Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah, that's so good. And that allows, more and more, this is just reinforced, is that like when you allow, as we've been talking about, allowing feelings to come up and allowing yourself to be present with yourself, like it creates more existence of you. You get to be more because you're allowing the things that live inside of you to exist and expand.
Yeah.
So it's more of you. It's not more of something outside of you. It's intrinsically, oh, like I get to see these other angles of myself and I get to be with all the various feelings that live inside of me. And then if you're with somebody else, I get to witness myself being witnessed
Yeah.
and witness the other person in their own experience too. Like it's such a depth of your own existence.
Right. Yes. Can you talk about the power of witnessing?
Oh my God. You're asking me about my favorite things.
No.
You know me, huh? The power of witnessing. Wow. Yeah. Hmm. This goes far back for me. Yeah. The So when I was like in middle school, I would watch my friends and I would see like all the like, unique sort of quirky things, idiosyncratic things that they would do that was unique to them. And I would just like marvel at it, like, huh, they like their laugh is just so like pleasant to listen to, or wow, they like can see things in such a different way than I can see it. And that's so beautiful to like witness. And I would make it a like little game to go up to my friends and like tell them, I just love this about you, you know? And so that's always kind of been a thing for me of like watching how people are uniquely them and seeing them inside of that. And so it's like such a gift to experience that because inside of that is deep connection. The other piece of it is you get to like it's an experience that you're having inside of yourself that can also reflect things about you and the beauty inside of yourself, right? Like when I see another person who does maybe a thing like I do, like I'm also witnessing myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I see another person do something that's different than me, oh, like I get to see this thing from a different vantage point, and then that adds to my experience, like it enriches what I know,
Yeah.
and then knowing more of that in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. For for me, diving into theater and understanding perspectives through different character lenses helped me to realize that I was in a marriage that was really not working.
Yeah,
Like really not working.
yeah.
Like understanding the character for like one of the Chekhov plays and
Mm.
my acting teacher be like, oh yeah, it's like when somebody, just like pats you on the shoulder in such a simple, friendly way to like avoid intimacy in any physical sense, emotional sense, spiritual sense. Like they've just cut themselves off and they've essentially cut you off. And I remember going like,
You're like, oh shit.
my husband does that
Is that, yeah.
all like all the time. And I was like suddenly realizing like, oh my God, I'm in an unhealthy, unhelpful
Yeah,
marriage.
right.
There's
Yeah,
such power in theater work. There's such power in group work because like you said, somebody has a different viewpoint and then just like says it so nonchalantly that is like a truth bomb to somebody else and you're like,
like, oh my God, I didn't know it could be like I didn't know what I didn't know until now.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so putting yourself out there and
Mm.
exploring and pushing for growth. And yes, every single acting class, I was like, I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God, I'm so
Yeah, like, oh
uncomfortable.
shit.
I,
Here we go.
oh, I don't want to do the thing, but I'm being encouraged by spirit to do the thing. So I'm gonna go do the thing. And then suddenly, like you have all these light bulbs going off, and it's like I can't ignore the elephant in the room anymore.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah,
then felt empowered because in acting like you're taught to like no lean into the uncomfortable, like you as the person might be uncomfortable but this as the character, this is what the character is doing, and so you have to lean in and be okay with the
yes,
confrontation,
yes.
uncomfortable conversation, right? And so we're bringing that into North Node and we're saying, God, strip off all of those layers and take off that poker face and
Right.
remember the truth of who you are. You're this empowered,
Yes.
sovereign creature. Like,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the more you allow, the more power you get to feel inside of yourself.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
paradox, right?
yes.
The more you
And
resist, the disempowerment happens.
right. Yes. And the more that you acknowledge that community and being witness is actually a step within confidence and empowerment, the
Yeah.
more that you're able to begin creating that safe space for yourself.
Totally.
You begin making different choices of who you surround yourself with, and you begin making different choices for your sovereignty.
Right. Right.
And the ripple effect is fucking huge.
Huge. Yeah, massive. It's and it is this process of, like we've said, it's not linear.
Right.
And there's these moments where you enter into a new experience and you have a felt understanding of like, oh, I could have a different dynamic inside of myself, or I could have a different relationship that is actually loving and in alignment with what I value. Oh shit, I could have that happen. How does that happen? So your mind goes into, how's that gonna happen?
Right.
And then and I remember feeling this of like, how do I cultivate that? Like, I want that to happen. And there's like anxiety of that I felt like this is all on me. I need to make this happen. But the thing is like, it's not all on me. And there's a question asked yesterday by a client that's like, how do you become more aware of your unconscious? And I sat with that and I was like, I think inherently a big piece of it is letting yourself live life because life is going to show you, especially if you are working on those limiting beliefs that live inside of you, if the more you work on those, the more you break through those and have a felt experience of, oh, I can have these things or I can't experience these things. You're calling that into your life. And then stepping into that, which it courage and um like belief, courage and belief, like you don't feel that way. You don't feel like, oh, I feel courageous. You feel fucking scared.
Yeah.
Like courage usually doesn't feel like courage.
Right. Right. You're usually doing the things, but you're doing them terrified. Like there are some
Exactly.
I have made some really bold choices, but I assure you, like I'm not making them going like, yeah, I feel great. No, no, no.
Yeah.
I'm fucking terrified. I'm like, holy shit. I can't believe I'm doing the thing. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna vomit. Oh my
Yep.
God, I can't. And
Right.
it's not until like the height of that terrified feeling is over that then you're looking back and you're like, oh my God, I just did the thing.
You just did the thing. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah. When I was studying for my licensing exam, I I had failed it 3 times. 3 times. And I was terrified because what came up to the surface was these narratives about me having dyslexia when I was like growing up and like not feeling smart. All of that came up to the surface. And then I had to figure out a way to study in a different way that would get
Yeah.
me to pass. And I remember like putting the intention out there to the universe, hey, universe, like I'll do all the things, like I am gonna pass this time. And I
Yeah.
was so terrified. I was so terrified walking into the test, managing my own anxiety in that.
Yeah.
It's still like having this like internal trust, like I'm gonna do this and eventually this is gonna happen. Or if it doesn't happen, maybe it's not, the path that I need to take. And so I did that. I did vision therapy, which was fantastic to help me with my visual processing problems. did that for like 8 months and was studying during that time and learned to like through that process comprehend more with more ease. And studying became way better after vision therapy. But I had to get through like failing it 3 times and then talking to somebody about vision therapy. And so I moved through that, and I remember like I was with my or talking to my spiritual mentor, and we were talking about this whole idea and practice of trusting. And and I stepped into that test courageously, but it did not feel like courage. It was fucking terrifying. And I remember like getting the piece of paper of the results because you get it right after. And I was like, I need to open this in my car because I'm not opening it here.
Yeah.
I get into my car and I'm like, taking a deep breath, feeling my heart rate increase. I open it. And as soon as I see the word past, I just like bawl my eyes out.
Oh my God.
Like everything in me just released, right?
Yeah.
And I could feel the younger versions of me just like crying and just so relieved.
Hmm.
But I couldn't have gotten there had I not did those things, like faced those limiting beliefs and still went through the practice of studying and doing vision therapy and it yeah, talk about like a opportunity and trusting yourself and trusting that the universe supports you, right?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Following that intuition of you were being led, you were being called to
Yeah.
lessons and to, accomplish your PhD
Hmm.
and trusting like, okay, like I'm being called to do this thing. So you're going to show up too, right, universe?
Yeah, help me out, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like, so I knew that I had a calling my whole life to be a healer. And I thought that I would do it through academia and through visual art,
Mm-hmm.
facilitating visual art.
Yeah.
And after getting my BFA at an art school, knowing that I was being called to grad school and just like continuously showing up and applying for 6 years of, I didn't apply every year, but like
Mm.
uh, just working on my portfolio and finding the school that was like perfect for me to be able to do the thing.
Yeah.
And I know that I was led to the University of Idaho because of the acting program.
Mm.
I,
Yeah.
right? Like, while I'm getting my first MFA in visual art, like the department of art is like, no, you have to take a class outside of the department. And I was like, fuck, what am I gonna take? Right? Like, and I hear the word acting. Take an acting class.
Yeah.
You're terrified of public speaking. You're terrified to be in front of people. You might as well face this
Yeah.
fear and learn and get beyond it. And so then I take an acting class. And one thing leads to another. I'm invited to a workshop. And did I tell you about this story? The Creation
I
Lab
don't
workshop?
I don't think you did. I feel like you haven't told me this.
I'm witnessing this Creation Lab like workshop in the theater department, and they're hashing out ideas for how they're going to put on this play production, and they're talking about potentially having an all-female cast, and they're rehearsing a scene, and the lighting in the room was all red.
Hmm.
There's one white spotlight above a couch, and this actor is painfully slow smoking a fake cigarette. And
Huh.
so you see the smoke flying up from
Yeah.
her. And then you hear this ticking of the clock
Uh-huh.
in the background. And they're rehearsing their lines.
Uh-huh.
And between the lighting and the smoke and tension from the clock ticking, I was like, I'm in the wrong major.
Wow. Yeah.
It moved me so much.
Hmm.
It shifted my whole perspective of creating, showing up as a creator, creating an atmosphere. These are all these things that like I had been doing in visual art and feeling frustrated and not understanding why I felt frustrated. And then one thing led to another. Like suddenly I'm in Russia and I'm studying.
Full force.
Like no joke. It was
Yeah.
so fast. It was like literally I think a year later I was in Russia. Like and I'm getting a second master's degree. Like it it was so profound. But the thing is that I showed up with the intention
Hmm.
to be a healer. And I'm like, okay, great. You've given me these gifts. I'm going to continue studying. Um, but the trick is to keep following what excites you, to keep
Oh,
following what
dude,
is the
I was just thinking of that principle. I was just
yes.
thinking, yeah,
To okay, like you're at a crossroad, which one seems more exciting?
yeah,
Even if it's slightly more exciting,
right.
go after it. And
Yes.
so it might terrify you. Believe me, I was fucking terrified. I'm like, I just defended my art thesis and now I'm on the plane to go to Russia to study acting. In okay, mind you, like I had to audition, I had to be accepted. So clearly these people think that I've got something to offer.
Yeah.
But I'm surrounded by people who live and breathe theater. And I'm like, how I know, like I'm like reading these Chekhov plays and I'm like the uncle with the yellow hat. Like that's how my brain is working. And these people are like, this character, his name is this, he's age this, and like can spew out all these facts. And I'm like, the dude with the yellow hat. Yeah. About the same person. Like, okay.
Wow.
I had the most glorious panic attack in Russia.
Oh, I bet. That's intense.
The most glorious. I mean, like these people had been studying Russian to get there, and I'm
Yeah, not.
like 2 weeks ago, I just defended my thesis for the thing that I had been studying my whole life for,
Right.
and now I'm suddenly just like thrusting myself into a brand new path because Spirit said go, so I'm gonna go. Oh my God,
Yeah, talk about courage.
the best. I'm so grateful, and I got the best souvenir.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And
that's the beautiful thing, right? Of on the other side of that,
yeah,
many,
there's so
many
much
times
beauty.
is just such a fulfilling thing.
Yes, and the whole reason why I went on that tangent is because I held the vision that I'm going to be a healer, that I'm going to use the arts, and I also held the vision that I cannot do it solo.
Right.
And lo and behold,
Hmm.
a year ago, a mutual friend says, "You should really meet my friend Liz."
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like as we're talking over coffee,
Mhm.
like we had no idea how the other person facilitated. We
None.
suddenly planned like, okay, we're gonna rent space and we're just gonna do this thing called psychodrama.
Yep.
Except we're
Yeah.
not calling it psychodrama. We're
Except
calling
it's yeah, because that sounds not as great as therapeutic theater.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't know how we facilitated together when we started that 8 week group.
yeah.
Yeah. And
And the first
dude,
session,
the first session, it's still so vivid to me of like afterwards being so talking about energized. Like
you were so
so
excited. And I
I
was
was
like
so
freaked
excited.
out by how excited you were. I was like, because if you think about it, like it was just you and I just holding a cup of coffee. Like this had been our interactions of just a few months of meeting for coffee. Like I don't even think that we really talked on the phone that much. It was just
Not
like
that
these,
much. Yeah.
you know, we'll meet for a cup of coffee and we just see each other just sitting,
Yeah.
but we both felt into the energy of the other person and we're like, no, there's something here. I trust you. I just know
Yeah,
that this is going to work. And
exactly.
our first session was like, that was kind of insane how well that just
It
worked.
went so good. Like,
Right.
and I remember like watching you facilitate and the finesse and the like the empowerment that you embodied and the loving care that you so beautifully like brought into that space
Yeah.
was just like magical to me. I was in awe of what you do. I was like, holy shit. She's my fucking work partner. Okay? Like, wow.
That's thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was incredible. It's incredible every time. Every time I'm like, wow, her work is amazing.
Hmm. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Yeah, and I literally do the same thing. I'm like, you watch. Okay, first of all, the questions that you ask leading up to facilitating your portion, it's like you're asking for so many reasons and so many levels of detail that to me I would forget. To me, I would not understand why you're asking certain questions, but I'm like in full trust of like she's searching out, she's getting the information that she needs so that when time comes to resolve the
Yes.
thing, to play out a different perspective, like you're able to direct in
Mm,
such a way that's like, I mean, this is fucking gold what you're providing for this person. Yeah,
thanks,
it's
dude. Yeah.
so powerful.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. It's such a beautiful process, so fulfilling. Like, let's fucking go, you know? It's like that feeling.
Yeah, but also like to bring it full circle is that
Yes.
because we were able to listen and hold space for ourselves,
Mhm.
then we were able to send out like the frequency to the universe like, okay, I'm ready for the partner to work with.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
Then seemingly randomly.
Yeah.
Nothing's random. Nothing is random. Right?
No.
Like suddenly came into my life and I was like, "Oh, this is who you've been waiting for. Now
Yeah.
you can do the thing that you've always wanted to do, which
Yes.
is truly facilitate through creative means of expression." And I cannot wait to be able to like get into a space where we can really begin shifting like elements of light and
Mm,
bring elements of sound and
yeah.
like an actual theater space so
Yeah.
that we can really take this therapy to like a brand new level,
Yeah.
because when you
Yeah.
bring in other elements like settings, like then we're able to transmute the visceral experience, we're able to transmute the emotive experience, we're able to really hold space for our clients on a higher frequency. I'm excited for that. That's the vision that I'm now holding.
Same. It's a beautiful vision. Yeah, I'm with you there. That's it's gonna happen. Yeah. Yeah. Well, shall we close this out?
Mm-hmm.
We covered
A lot.
so many layers to creating safe space. I love
And
it.
there's so much more we can
There's
continue.
so much more.
We didn't even get into balancing and the
Oh
fun
yeah.
dance of the divine masculine, divine feminine.
Oh, that's true. Well, you know what? We'll just have to do that next episode. Awesome. Well, we appreciate our followers, oh, that always sounds like cultish, but I'll say our followers and, and those who are viewing, listening to these episodes. It's energizing. It's near and dear to Lindsay and I's hearts, and yeah, so much love to everybody. Any last thoughts, Lindsay?
Sparkle, shine bright, love you.
Yes.